Welcome, art friends. This week we're going to be making P8 Mondrian spiders. While making our spiders, we're going to be reviewing lines and shapes that we've been going over, and we're also going to be learning a little bit about colors. So who was P8 Mondrian? Mondrian was a Dutch artist that went to college to be an art teacher. He started out by painting realistic-looking landscapes. What's a realistic-looking landscape? It means it's a painting of the outdoors that looks like what you see in real life. Eventually, Mondrian came up with his own style of artwork that he's now famous for. It's called geometric abstract. So what is abstract art? Abstract art is art done that doesn't look like objects or living things that we see around us. Take a look at this painting by Mondrian. Does it look like anything we see around the room? Does it look like anything we see outside? No. Mondrian is also famous for using primary colors. What are primary colors? Primary colors are three colors: red, yellow, and blue. They are mixed together to make other colors like green, purple, and orange. But primary colors cannot be made up of any other colors. So what do we need to get started? We need paint in our primary colors of red, yellow, and blue. If you don't have paint, that's okay. You can color using markers or crayons. What else do we need? We need a ruler or a book to use to make straight lines, maybe a cup or bowl to help trace our circles, some water for your paint and a paintbrush, a Sharpie marker if you have it, and some paper to make your spider body and legs. You'll also need some scissors for cutting and some glue to put your spider together. For those of you in class, you'll be receiving a big circle for your spider body. And for those of you at home, you can use a piece of paper and a plate or bowl to trace to create your spider body. You may have to ask a grown-up for scissors to cut out your circle body. To make our spider head, we can draw a circle by ourselves, or we can use a cup to trace the circle. I'm going to use a cup to show you. You can put the cup on the bottom of your paper and use a Sharpie or a pencil to trace your circle. When you finish tracing your circle, you're going to need some scissors to cut it out. Make sure you open your scissors mouth all the way and go chomp, chomp, chomp like a gator. This makes cutting so much easier. Next, we're going to want to make our lines and shapes. We're going to want to use something like a book or a ruler to make straight lines to draw rectangles and squares on our spider. You can use a pencil or a black Sharpie or a black crayon, but you're going to want to use something that doesn't run when it gets wet. You're going to use your ruler or book to make lines up and down and also sideways on your spider. You're going to want to keep making vertical and horizontal lines to make your squares and rectangles. You want to make sure that your rectangles and squares are still big enough to be easy to paint. So don't fill your paper up with a lot of lines. Don't forget to put a couple of lines on your spider's head. Once we've finished making our vertical and horizontal lines to make the squares and rectangles, we're going to start painting. We're going to paint most of the shapes we made with a primary color. I'm going to start with yellow. Remember, our primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. I'm going to paint as many rectangles and squares yellow that I want to before moving on to another color. You're going to want to make sure you wash your brush out really good between each color so we don't accidentally mix them up. Make sure you get that extra water out of your brush too so our paints aren't all runny. Next, I'm going to move on to my red. I'm going to paint in red and then next blue on most of my rectangles and squares. I'm going to leave some of them white though. Remember looking at Mondrian's artwork? He used red, yellow, blue, but he also used black and white. And I want to make sure I have that in my painting. Keep going and be careful not to mix your colors. We want to make sure that our spider is red, yellow, and blue. If it mixes up a little, don't worry, that's okay. Once we finish painting our spiders, we're going to need to let them dry. Don't worry, we'll finish our spiders next class. So what did you find most challenging about this project? What shapes did you make on your spider? What did we learn about this week? I can't wait till we finish our spiders next week. Until then, bye!